Hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey!
Is that what you call a kick? You're doing it wrong.
All right, so we only got about 26 minutes left, and
you got this.
It's going to be a race. It's going to be a race. I don't know if we're going to make it.
I think we're gonna, whatever we make, it's
I don't
gonna
think
be
we're going to make it. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Curtis! There it is! There's the sun!
We got it! We got it! We're here, we're gonna...
If you're like me growing up in the 80s, The Karate Kid was a movie that we all identified with. It's the story of Daniel LaRusso, a young New Jersey high school kid having to move to Southern California because of a change in his mom's job. And he gets dropped into a new place, a new school, a new culture, and he is overwhelmed. He finds himself not only having a hard time connecting, but getting bullied and picked on by Johnny from the Cobra Kai. And he thinks his only solution is to learn karate to find that next level, to find that edge. And it puts him right smack dab in the path of Mr. Miyagi. And what this movie shows us is that we're all in need of some kind of Miyagi in our lives. You know, Daniel was without a dad, without really a core family, and Miyagi had lost his family. And so you find these two guys put together, learning from each other, learning together what it means to be great friends, to be a great mentor, to a great young learner. And through all of that, challenges are met, challenges are fought back, and we all get the ending we love. Winning, triumphing, good over evil. The bad guy loses out, the good guy wins. And if that's not enough, we get the epic 80s still frame ending on Mr. Miyagi's face, looking on in complete satisfaction that his young, learned student has put all of his wisdom together, and we get the best send-off, which makes sense that we should start this movie in the best 80s way possible. So we just left the beach where I learned the hard lesson that crane kicks and skinny jeans don't mix. But now we're making our way through the beautiful San Fernando Valley, and we're about to head to the apartment complex where, if you remember in the movie, Daniel and his mom make this great cross-country journey. We see a little Americana, we hear some great music, and a chance to roll some important credits. And then they finally roll up to their new home here in Southern California. And if you've been watching for a few episodes, I bet you thought I forgot about this. I didn't. I love this movie.
There it is, there it is.
Where is it?
To the right.
Where is it? Oh my gosh! There it is. Oh, look at that. So this is where I get really excited, because even though it's been 35 years, this location is exactly the same. It's almost like you just picked it up 35 years ago and dropped it right here, because if you look, the sign's still the same, the paint is still the same, the palm trees, 2 of the 3 palm trees are still there. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we really, really live for as fans, because it's exactly as we remembered it. Exactly. Nothing has changed. It's right here, the Garden of Eden, as she pitched it to Daniel, right?
Open your eyes, my darling son. This is the Garden of Eden.
Which would find out maybe not so much, but this would be the place where they would start their new life right here in the valley. So showing up here at the apartment complex, there's a few things that have changed over the years since they filmed. Right to my left here was obviously it was a chain link fence. This is where Daniel finds himself at the mercy of the Cobra Kai. Of course, Miyagi sweeps in and cleans house. And then right to my right here, you've got the complex. And during filming, they built a couple of these parking spots out as Miyagi's apartment. This was the hallway that Daniel would walk in and through, going into Miyagi's apartment. And of course, once they left, they removed the apartment. So you gotta wonder, in places like this where people live and do life, like, do they really consider where they're living? All the amazing things from a great movie over 35 years ago happen. Like, do the people that park in these parking places realize they're parking smack dab in the middle of Miyagi's apartment, his place where he trimmed bonsai trees and operated out as a handyman for this complex. I mean, this is a place where people live. This is their home. This is their everyday life for them. And so, you know, they want to make sure that we don't intrude on that or mess up what's going on with them, but just to have a chance to also take in a little bit of the history that we find right here in the middle of the valley.
Where we're at.
Yeah, so we had some time, so we busted over here from the apartments to check out the school that was used in the film, and it wasn't a high school. It was a middle school, and I've always wondered if there was like some sort of decision based around that, or if it's just availability. But like in a middle school, things probably felt smaller. So I'm trying to figure out why you would already put, you know, because Machio was 22 when they shot this film, and he looked like he was 15. So it seems like this would also make everybody look older too, but I don't know. Maybe it's just all that was available. So this school is not too far from the apartment complex, and so we decided to swing by because there's a few things that happen here at the school that help tell the story about Daniel adjusting to school life, or really establishing the bully nature of Johnny. But this alleyway and that gymnasium are the places where the dance happens and where Daniel comes bolting out in the shower costume and then takes off running down this way. That's probably the most memorable scene that happens here, and so we want to take a look at it. School's abandoned now, but again, it's still a location that was used in this movie, and it's pretty cool that we get to swing by and check it out. So this turned out to be a pretty cool location because we get to see kind of the gymnasium set up. We see the alley where he comes running down after the... Oh my gosh, they found me. I don't know how they did it, but they found me. Oh no, you guys! Oh. So it wasn't all punches and kicks for Daniel. No, the great thing about this movie is it also had this great sub-story of Daniel falling for this girl named Allie, who was the popular girl in school, and he was the young quirky dude, and it just didn't seem like this would ever happen. And what better place to start this romance than Southern California's Golf and Stuff, which today is known as Golf and Stuff, right here. Family Fun Center. Now it's a little different than it was, but imagine, if you will, Mrs. LaRusso's green station wagon wheeling up, dropping off Daniel and Allie. They make the corner. Now the water park's gone, it's not there anymore, but everything else is, because as you begin to walk the very path that Daniel and Allie walked, you got the party room, which was the arcade den, the miniature golf, the bumper boats, the Indy cars, all of which leads us to an amazing gaming montage. Let's go. There is no reason not to love this place. I mean, Golf and Stuff. If you're ever down here in the Southern California area, be sure to swing on by. I mean, the go-karts, the putt-putt, the bumper boats, the arcade, all of it. Man, it just takes you right back because nothing really has changed. And that's what makes it such a great location. And really, it was the greatest location for Daniel to just get his confidence back, to kind of give him that extra boost, which would carry him on to the next part of his training, which is really what we got to do now. It's time for us to move on. It's time for us to get trained up, because there's some tough stuff coming. Let's go. Every time we find one of these locations, I am reminded that they are unique. And this one is no exception, the Cobra Kai Dojo. Again, in the movie, you don't get the full grasp of everyday life, traffic, weather, That's what's happening right now. And a few years have passed. But let's see what story this dojo can still tell. So this is where training happens, in the dojo. We are now in the Cobra Kai Dojo from the Karate Kid. And I gotta tell you, as a super fan, it's a little overwhelming because I've only seen this place on film, on screen, and now to be here, it's really awesome. Now, it's a little different, but if you work with me a little bit here, we can kind of get the image of how this really played out. I mean, first of all, as we walked in, there was kind of an office here with a wall that kind of framed it up. And of course, you can't forget the big, bad, menacing John Kreese cutout against the wall over there. But as Daniel came into literally the lion's den with Miyagi, they were kind of pressed up against this wall here, witnessing all the mean badness of the Cobra Kai students and their sensei. And this is where we get the reminder that Daniel is up against a big challenge, and in order to even get training, a deal's got to be made so that he can kind of have a little bit of space from the Cobra Kai, so that then he can also agree to being a part of the All Valley tournament, where it all actually happens, you know, where the final battle happens and Daniel is triumphant. But you can't get to that kind of triumphant ending without a little bit of training.
Come back!
So there's a couple key elements when it comes to training. Obviously, you've got to have a sensei, and there doesn't seem to be one around here today, but there are a couple of things that we can definitely fulfill. Number one, the appropriate fighting stance, and of course, the appropriate attire. You know, training is one thing, but it takes a good opponent to truly test your abilities. I gotta tell you, the training is pretty exhausting, especially when you're flying solo and you don't have a sensei to really coach you, guide you, give you the best possible ways to be training. Because, you know, even though I won, I also lost. So every great student needs a sensei of sorts, right? Somebody to like kind of help guide you along the way, and you really want to get the right sensei, the sensei that helps teach you every element. How are you, man? Welcome.
Curtis.
I'm Curtis. It's great to meet you.
Curtis, how you doing?
What's it like, man?
Wow.
First time since the movie?
Yeah. First time since Karate Kid 3.
Okay.
In this place, right here.
Yeah.
Used to be a curtain here.
Okay.
A curtain. And I would keep my thermos there. Because
Yeah.
in Karate Kid 1, I was so sick, all the barking up and down the mercies for the weak, and, you know, and an enemy, over the lines, someone confronts you, he's your enemy, an enemy deserves no mercy.
Right.
And I'm walking up and down the aisles, and then I get to Billy Zapka over there, and I said, what is the problem, Mr. Lawrence? You know?
Yeah.
Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition, a man confronts you, he is the enemy. An enemy deserves no mercy. What is the problem, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes,
all that just beat me up because I was sick. I had 102 fever.
Oh my gosh.
So all that up and down, I would have to go behind this curtain and chug-a-lug a hot tea thermos, and I would go through a lot of it all day long, because that sequence in the beginning of Karate Kid 1 was all here, and there was several days in a row. But coming back here, I haven't been here in 30 years.
Wow.
You know, so
It's a little different.
it is. You know, it seems a lot longer, but it doesn't seem as wide.
Right. We were saying the same thing.
But this is how it was.
Yep.
You know, and that obviously was my office, so there was a wall
Yep.
there. Yeah, there had to be a wall here. I
Yeah,
mean,
this was the office, right?
there had to be a wall. The office was here, because here was the All Valley poster.
Yep.
On the wall.
Yep.
And you know, you don't show, it's open season, not him.
But you don't show. And it's open season. On him.
And you. You know, it's just kind of fun.
It's like, I get chills seeing
And,
this
and,
stuff.
and that's the picture they use, a production shot they use of
Yeah.
me pointing on it, you know. Let's see, along here, I remember coming right, here we go. So here was where, I have a lot of photographs, here was where we had the fighting, the preparation, and they would have the red flags.
Yeah.
There wasn't flags, actually, it was just a red ribbon.
Yeah.
And I would be on that side, actually go,
Yeah.
fight!
Yeah.
Or whatever the key I was ites, I think.
Yeah.
On guard! Right!
Yeah.
And then they would come in and they'd stand up, sit down, and this was the square.
Were these guys afraid of you, like in real life? Like, were you kind of emitting that vibe to the actors that were kind of like, this guy's a real deal? Like,
Interesting question, because we were separated. John Avildsen kept us separated, so that I was separated pretty much from my Cobra Kai. No social. We didn't get together. We didn't talk. We kind of stayed away from each other because there was a level of respect. He didn't want me becoming too friendly with anybody.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And Miyagi certainly stayed with Ralph, and they were trained separately. So Miyagi was trained with Ralph. Pat Johnson, who was our stunt coordinator, was brilliant, who played the referee at the end. He trained the Cobra Kai by themselves, and then he trained me by myself. And I originally had only one action sequence, which ended up being the beginning of Karate Kid 2, when I had the fight with Miyagi. Because they decided while we were waiting to do the scene outside the parking lot and to do the spinning crescent kick and go through the window and all, they cut it. And so 3 years later, we went back to the same parking lot and we did it. But we were all trained separately to keep the mystique going, And it was great. It just was really interesting. And who ever expected it to be the iconic gift that keeps giving?
Oh my gosh.
To do these, this television series. And now we're standing in the middle of Cobra Kai.
Right here in the middle of Cobra Kai. Martin, as a super fan, I can't thank you enough for swinging by and spending some time with us. And for all of our fans watching, I know this is going to be kind of a monumental moment to not only be in the dojo, but to have you back here. So I appreciate you doing that.
If it's okay, would love to get you in costume and have a little instruction from the
jeez.
Are you okay with barking some orders at Curtis?
How do you want me to drop it?
I swept his leg.
Okay.
Let me just think for a second. So I sweep your leg.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll try to drop. Yeah.
But you guys should be over there. You should go over there.
So we're gonna get low on. Okay.
Yeah.
Done,
Fall
Courtney.
down. Go ahead. You fall down. I'll sweep you. You fall down.
Okay.
And let me see.
Oh yeah. Then you.
Let me see if I got bad knees too. So let me just think for a second how I got in this position. Finally. So was that, I think, right?
Yeah. You gave him a.
Yeah.
You gave him a punch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's good.
I got a punch.
All right. It's all good. All right.
You lose focus in a fight and you're dead meat. Give me 60 push-ups on your knuckles.
Yes, Sensei. Oh my gosh.
That was wonderful.
Whose life is this easy?
Hey! You lose concentration of fighting your dead meat.
Yes, that's it.
So this has been a dream come true for a super fan like me. The locations, the real life places that made Karate Kid the iconic film that it is today, 35 years later, and now with Cobra Kai on YouTube. I mean, this has been an amazing thing. Martin, do you think I would have made it in Cobra Kai at all?
No way.
Man.
It's the beard.
This has been such a thrilling journey for this super fan. Martin, is there anything you could close us out with?
Well, all I can say is follow Beyond the Backlot, because the real story's only just begun.